Welcome to the SUTV Show as we look ahead to our Premier League encounter against Fulham this weekend. Also look back on our game against West Ham, and we're joined as well by the Sheffield United striker Rhian Brewster. Joining me to discuss all things Sheffield United this week as ever, Carl Asaba. How are you today, Carl?
Yeah, really good, thanks.
First of all then, West Ham, let's pick the bones out of that one. Positive and negatives from last weekend.
Yeah, obviously it was a match after the nightmare that was Newcastle, and I thought the boys acquitted themselves really well. Another tricky ground to play at, really strange venue, with the dynamic of how far away the fans are. So they dealt with that, and they were up against a really tough, well drilled West Ham team. But there were positives to take from the defeat.
Started well, first 10-15 minutes, then had a couple of setbacks. Could have gone under at that point, especially with what happened last week against Newcastle, but they showed some character, didn't they?
Yeah, I think that's been a big thing that stood out in most of the matches this season. There have been periods when at 0-0 where we have been on top. We have had moments where there have been half chances, and that's got to give everyone heart. You know, it's not that you're just stepping up into a different division and you're way out of your depth. We've seen yet again moments and patterns of play from our good play where we've opened up established Premiership teams.
That second half in particular, what will Paul Heckingbottom be looking at there to build on coming into this weekend against Fulham?
Well, I think, for me, the start of last season, the way we went off was driven by the substitutions and the way the substitutes had an impact, and it caused a competition in the squad, and the people who were on the pitch knew they had to perform. I thought each substitute on Saturday, they added to the 11. When they came in, the team performance lifted. And I think that will take, everyone will take good heart from that. And the boys who want to start, they'll be buoyed that we're giving performances we want to get in the team.
You mentioned the substitutions. If we just take them individually, I want to talk about Tom Davies first of all, because he had a couple of difficult moments against Newcastle, but that was a really positive 20 minutes for him.
Yeah, I thought he had the standout performance. For me personally, he was everything. He was high energy, but he was always looking forward. He was always trying to cause West Ham a problem, either with a run or with a forward pass or an attempted shot. And I think we're now seeing why the management and the coaching staff kept Tom back while he was getting his fitness up. So when he gets on the pitch, he can perform to the levels that he wants to and we want from him. And, I think he's going to be pushing for a starting berth soon.
It has been tough for him, hasn't it? Because, like you said, he missed pre-season, or a lot of pre-season. I don't know if you've ever experienced that as a player. I've
missed everything. I was always injured.
But how much does that actually set you back, and how quick then do you have to recover in that situation?
Yeah, it does. It really does set you back. And getting up to speed fitness-wise is one thing, but it's the match fitness. That's why the pre-season games are so crucial, because you actually hone your sharpness. And we're seeing a lot of our players, not just Tom, they're doing that in match situations, and not just a normal match. In high-pressure Premiership matches, they're trying to get fitness and find patterns of play. So it's really tough. He's done really well, but there's a number of them doing it as well.
Anis Limani is who I don't want to talk about. He had a couple of efforts in the game against West Ham. We've seen him play a little bit for the under-21s as well this season. Paul Heckingbottom saying he's working on him on an individual basis to try and bring him up to Premier League level. Are we starting to see some shoots from him now, do you feel?
Well, he's really confident. We saw a lot of him in pre-season, and he's not scared to shoot. He's not scared to make a forward pass, a risky forward pass. He plays. You can see why the manager signed him, because he plays the way the manager wants. He wants people to take risks and be brave, and definitely Slimani does that. His fitness, he looks sharp, he looks strong, and he's only going to add to the squad.
And Austin Trusty, it's been difficult for him as well. He's come in, had a great season with Birmingham last year, good reputation. May have thought he might have played a little bit more, but it's difficult, isn't it? Because has Jack Robinson done a lot wrong, and he's the one who's directly in front of him in the queue at the moment?
No, it's been really tough for him, and as you say, I think Jack Robinson's been really good this season. He's been Robbo. He does what we expect of Robbo. But I spoke, my former teammate was his manager at Birmingham, John Eustace, and I spoke to him at length, and he's saying he is a player who can go on. So again, the manager, what the manager and the coaching staff do here, they wait until they feel it's ready, that the player's ready to play our style of football and our way to our tempo. And when it happens, the manager's not paid the money not to use him. So when he unleashes him, it's going to be when the manager thinks he's completely ready to give his best account.
There's some negatives, of course. I mean, John Egan had to come off injured. We're talking now prior to Paul Heckingbottom's pre-match press conference. I'm not quite sure what the situation is with John Egan, but that could be a blow, couldn't it, going forward? If it continues,
of course, losing your captain, it will always be a blow for everyone. But the other side of that is going to give someone an opportunity. Basher's come in and he's done well. We've spoken about Trusty. It's there. It's not like we've been keeping clean sheet. So it's there. Someone, if you're in competition with your teammates to fill the 11, someone's got a chance now to keep John out of the team, and that's what we've got to hope is the mindset, that someone's going to take that position and try and make it their own by their performances.
And working on things going forward for Fulham. I mean, Paul Heckingbottom spoke about he wasn't particularly happy with the goals that were conceded. I mean, what do United specifically you think need to work on primarily going to this game against Fulham?
Well, it's stiff, as we keep saying, they've taken a huge step up in division, and the gulf between Championship football and Premiership football is massive. But we need to see, everyone can make mistakes, but you need to see if you make a mistake, you're not replicating it the next match. I think there's been a lot of goals this season where the manager and the players will be disappointed, but we've got to see, okay, that's happened, it doesn't happen again. Again, away at West Ham, it's whether we're trying to play too pretty and play the Premiership way because we think we have to pass. Sometimes the John Smiths have it, long ball away from your goal is necessary. And, Anel played a short pass that got intercepted a week ago, and they came on and they scored at Tottenham. And then Harmer's made a first-time ball round the corner and it got nicked and they went and scored. So we're trying to be brave, but when there's a time to do it. And if you make a mistake, just learn from that and try not to replicate it going again in this season.
And just went on James McAtee, because we've seen flashes of his usual brilliance. We saw it actually in the first few minutes against West Ham. Getting that out of him on a more regular basis, how much tougher is that going to be? Because clearly United are not going to have as much of the ball this season.
Well, of course, it was highlighted last season that Manchester City decided that we were the best option because they believed we were going to dominate matches and he'd get lots of the ball and he'd replicate scenarios that Man City encounter, how teams do the low block and how you beat that. I was really, surprised, but happily surprised that McAtee chose to come here, because we all know it's not going to be, not going to dominate matches. And for an attacking player like James McAtee, who likes a lot of the ball and to take people on, to know that we're not going to be dominating, but he still has faith in the manager and the other players to get him the ball and that he can affect things still, even when we're not going to be in ascendancy all the time, I thought was really encouraging and was good from James, and shows that his belief, he did show on Saturday against West Ham, he can go past these players like he could at the Championship level. So we need to start capitalising on these moments. We're not going to get as many as we did in the Championship, and we have to take more of them.
Thanks for the time being, Carl. On the subject of James McAtee, he faced the media this week, speaking about the start of the Premier League season and his return to Bramall Lane.
Just how do you reflect on the weekend? You were looking for a reaction from the Newcastle game. Did you feel you got something of a reaction?
I think we started very well. It was creating chances, but I know it was a disappointing, 10-minute spell, conceding them 2 goals. Obviously, looking at myself, I could have tracked the runner a bit better and maybe prevented the first goal, but I have to just learn from that and then don't let a man run off me the next time. Where
are you at as a club at the moment? Because everyone's talking about the big defeat at home to Newcastle, but how do you feel you've started the season?
I felt like we was getting better and better after each game, and then the Newcastle game came, it set us back a little bit, but I think it just shows how close the lads are, and I think we'll get together and hopefully get a win on the weekend.
Always good to hear from James McAtee, and always good to hear from Rhian Brewster. Delighted that you've joined us down here to discuss the game against Fulham and your recovery as well. First of all, great to be back. Tell us about last weekend and getting back into the swing of things once again.
Yeah, of course, it was good to be back, and obviously it's a disappointing result, but ultimately from a personal point of view, it was good to be back after, being out for so long and play, I think it was about 15-20 minutes, and yeah, it's good because obviously I'm from nearby there, so You know, there was quite a few family members and my friends in the crowd, so it was good to, like, for my first game to be there and everybody to see.
Obviously, you've been getting closer and closer. So, at what point do you think I'm going to be involved here? I'm going to be in the squad. When did you get the nod?
So the game was Saturday. I think it was. I had an inkling on maybe the Tuesday, and then it got confirmed on the Thursday that I would be involved.
So it was then a case of ringing up the family and saying, "Get yourself down to the game."
Yeah. It was definitely go pick up some extra tickets and get down to the game.
Yeah. What were you thinking then when Paul Heckingbottom turned around and said, "Get warmed up, you're coming on soon"? Because it's been a long time, hasn't it? 11 months now.
Yeah. So obviously at the beginning of the game, I obviously because of previously what's happened or whatever, I was after the warm up. You know, obviously to start the game, every about 10 minutes, I was going back out. You know, keep them warm and because you never know. When you come on, and I didn't want to get cold and have to re-warm up again, and all stuff goes into your head and being injured before. So yeah, every 10 minutes I was just going out, and then I think I was out by myself anyway. Then he just said, "Re, come," and then 3 of us come on.
We were talking off camera, weren't we, Carl? 11 months for Rhian, but you had a spell injury, didn't you, for 10 months? You can empathise with the situation.
I was just speaking to Rhian. For me, it was the mental side. You're just thinking about the injury, and you're thinking, how long ago was it when you popped the injury out of your head and you felt that you were running at full pace again?
I would say, obviously in training you obviously have protocols and stuff like that, and you do like 70% of your top speed and 80% and 90%, and obviously I did about just under, my top speed, but I'd say from my point of view I was hitting 100%, but it come up about 90 something, so yeah, I've hit quite close to it.
What's your weight like? Have you put on many pounds or
no
you've kept it? Have you really?
Lost it, yeah. I did when I was first injured, and obviously because you're just, you have an operation and you're not doing nothing, and I'm just sitting there feeling like I'm getting fat because I'm eating non-stop. But yeah, since I've been back, I've lost quite a bit of body fat and stuff like that.
How did you deal with it? For me, when I was injured, the hardest part was going to the games and the fans, because they want to show their support. How are you? You seem you're answering to hundreds of fans, and when you're there, it's so hard to watch your own team play when all you want to do is be on the pitch. Did you find it tough?
Oh no, 100%. I'm the worst watcher in the world. Like, you're watching a game and you want to be out there, you want to help the team, and when certain things are happening, you're jumping up and I can't lie, I've headed so many balls from the crowd where the balls come in, I'm doing all of that, but no, it's tough, and obviously like you said, the fans asking when you're back, you want to say now, you just want to be back playing. And
what's the hardest part in training? What's the rehab? They do certain things that aren't natural to football. What's been the hardest part of your...
There's some things like, so where the way I run, it's kind of, I used to run like a bit like this.
Okay, upright.
So it's trying to get my core stronger, so I'm running a bit so there's less stress on my hamstrings.
Brilliant.
So it's just stuff like that, but you're doing it and it feels weird and you're like, why the hell am I doing this? And then, but once you do it and you understand it, and it's like, okay, even though it feels weird when you do it, when you're running, it does take the less stress, say, off your hamstrings and stuff like that, and it's more in the core.
How's all the shooting? Because your shooting before the match, it's just been impeccable. I love watching the strikers before and just see who's the striking. You're looking really sharp. You feel good?
Yeah, no, I do feel good. Obviously, that's the one thing, you want to do as a striker. You just want to get the ball and shoot and score some goals. And yeah, obviously in the shooting, in training that we do and stuff like that. Yeah, to be honest, they always tell me to calm down because they feel like sometimes I shoot too hard. They're like, yeah, you're just coming back, take time. But with me, it's either 100% or it's don't do it at all. So with me, I'm always confident when I'm striking the ball, and like from the injury point of view, for me, there's not really holding back.
Brilliant.
When you talk about you've had to maybe change your running style, be a bit more upright, where does that come from? Is that the coaching staff and the physio watching you and then giving tips and telling you how this might help you in the future?
Yeah, so of course it's like just changing your running technique like that. It's not gonna happen as quick as that. So it's just doing stuff every day, like doing little bits, not running as in on the pitch, but like just doing core, because the stronger your core is, the more you're ultimately gonna change a little bit. And even if it's just a little bit, it takes the 2% that it might help from getting injured again, you know, just a little.
But did you not just say, did you not see my pace against Norton in Swansea? You got me in so much trouble at Swansea, man. Go on, Bruce. I was going, go on, Bruce, to go. You were electric, but we don't want you to lose that pace.
No, of course, that's the thing as well, you know, there's just a fine margin of doing the little details, but of course, ultimately, it's, you know, not changing how fast you are, but it's sometimes even making you a bit more faster.
Yeah.
And it's, of course, I don't think, hopefully.
But that must make you feel really special that they're watching so in depth into your, you know, your stature, and that they're trying to improve all these little bits to make you even better. That must make you feel good.
No, of course, you know, and if you can add little bits, little percentages to your game that can, you know, help you become a better player, it's only gonna help you in the long run. So yeah, it's good that they, you know, they watch the clips that I have, you know, because obviously training's filmed every day and also the games. So of course, if they're watching me specifically on that, and they can see, then it helps quite a lot.
Did you ever get that in your career? People breaking down clips and giving you advice
like
that?
There were no clips of me doing anything well. What these boys go through nowadays, the analysis, it's incredible.
Just shows you how the game's come on, doesn't it?
Oh, massively. I don't think there would be room for me in this game. You know, but no, the boy. What are your dynamic like? The strikers, for me, I think we've got a great array of strikers. Yeah. Everyone's got something different. How's the group? Because it's going to be tough this year, and ultimately you guys all want to score goals. But what's the collective spirit like?
No, it's still good, you know, it's still good. Obviously, we're going through a bit of a sticky patch at the moment, but I feel like we will overcome that and, you know, and push on. And I think ultimately from the strikers' point of view, like you said, we've all got different qualities, you know. Ollie Max, you know, the big, strong hold-up man, doesn't lose a header and stuff like that, whereas me, I'm a bit different, you know, I'm more running behind and stuff like that. I can do a bit of both, come to feet. You know, you got Cam, the same kind of like me, a bit different in a way, as well, likes to come to feet, maybe a bit more, you know, running in behind. And you've got Benny, that's just quick and runs in behind, you know what I mean? And like you said, we've all got something different, and I feel like we can all put that together in a game and, you know, score a lot of goals and you know, help the Latham stay up.
Yeah.
Ollie McBurney referenced you in his post-match interview against West Ham, said how hard you've been working in the gym. Is he the type of person who would come in there and put her arm around you and keep you going? Is it people like that within the group that have kept you on over this last 11 months?
Yeah, 100%. And obviously he had a little knock in pre-season as well, and, you know, I was still in the gym and, you know, and stuff like that. And yeah, he did quite a bit. But for me, ultimately the whole squad has helped me, because they've all, you know, asked me how I am coming to the gym, and, you know, when they see me on the pitch, like being happy to, oh my God, you're on the pitch, yeah, like, nice. And then they see me coming and I'm like this, because I'm tired, and they're like, tough session, and I was like, yeah, but it's like, no, good to see you on the pitch. And
But I thought on Saturday, you know, in the moment of the defeat, the way you went over to the fans, you know, you know what the fans think of you, they think the world of you, and for you to do that gesture, just to show you appreciate they're stuck with you, I thought that was really lovely. So no, that was well played.
No, thank you. And of course, you know, the fans, like you said, they've helped me a lot, and they still believe in me. And, you know, I just want to, you know, repay their faith and you know, keep them up and score some goals, you know what I'm saying?
Looking back over that period, you always seem to be someone who was quite happy, always got a smile on your face. There must have been some low points, so how did you kind of keep yourself going through that time?
Yeah, of course, you know, there's always going to be low points, but that's in everyday life. And, you know, ultimately you just realise how lucky I am to be in the situation that I'm in. You know, some people would love to do what I'm doing, you know, playing football every day and getting paid for doing what you love, and, you know, playing at big stadiums and stuff like that. So it's trying to get back fit to do that. So I'm living, you know, everybody's dream. And even my friends tell me all the time, you're living my dream, like, kind of thing. And, you know, they distract me at the least. Do you know what I mean? Like
they just support you. They're proud that you're doing that. That's brilliant.
You know, they're going out. They're like, nope, you stay home. Do you know what I mean? Just stuff like that. And you know, I can't thank them enough, and also like my family and stuff like that.
I just want to talk to you about Will Osula. We were talking off camera. Great news this week. Signed a new 4-year contract. He's currently in the treatment room, but getting close to a return. What have you made of him and his progress over the last year or so? Yeah,
you know, I think he's matured quite a bit. You know, he's still got a little bit to go, but no, he's definitely matured. You know, we've taken on information and stuff like that. Yeah, he's still young. I think he's got such a raw talent, you know, and he can only get better. Do you know what I mean? As long as I think he keeps his head on straight and, you know, takes on information from, you know, senior players and the staff and stuff like that, I think he can become a really, really great striker.
I mean, you've grown up with some very good strikers at Liverpool. I mean, does he have, you spoke about the raw talents, but does he have those raw talents that could get him right to the top potential in this game?
Yeah, no, 100%. You see glimpses of it in training and in games. I think in pre-season quite a bit. Obviously, it was a tough start to the Prem, and tough start for him, as well, playing with Benny that he's never really played before. So it's kind of like two new strikers playing up there, and they're both young. I think one's 19, one's 20.
But do you feel the experienced man talking to these two young? Because a minute ago you were speaking about the manager telling you to do things and to accept that he only wants to win, he's only trying to make you better. And some young lads, it's simple. Look, when someone's telling you you're doing something wrong, that they're digging you. But no, the way you taking it on board that he's trying to improve me. Are you getting that over to the youngsters, or do they already sort of have that sort of feeling already?
No, I think some, obviously they're still young, so some things they take on, some things they don't, and it's just like you can just keep telling them and advising them, because ultimately you was in that position once. And feeling like a senior player.
Who was the best senior role model striker you've had? Who do you take good, positive things from?
I would say I learned a bit of every single one at Liverpool. So a bit of Bobby, a bit of Sadio, and a bit of Mo.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Who's yours?
Not bad, is it?
Wow. No, I can't even know. Wow.
Yeah,
That's
just like taking bits and pieces, but also on the pitch, but also off the pitch. How do they prepare for a game? How do they eat well? How do they just stuff like that?
Yeah, they live for the match. Everyone, that's a massive thing.
Yeah. And it's just like watching them do that.
We talk about you becoming into that bracket, potentially being a bit more of a senior striker. We talked to Alan McBurney about it as well. He's only, 25, 26. When did the transition come for you?
Well, I didn't start playing until I was 21. So, I think I became old at 22 and it just went downhill. But no, the way these boys handle themselves, conduct themselves, it's more of these are, I'm speaking like, the actual tuned athletes. When I was playing, it was still, you were a professional, but the emphasis wasn't as high as it. These are such highly strung individuals. They're running and they're performing day in, day out on being monitored. We could have an off day and no one knew what you were doing. You were high. There's no moments these boys can hide, and I have the full respect for them.
Rhian, great to see you back, mate.
No, thank you.
Thanks for joining us. Good luck at the weekend. And you mentioned Will Osula, we were talking about him just now. Well, he's had a new 4-year contract, and earlier this week he spoke to us here at SUTV. Will, congratulations on the new contract. How big is this day in terms of your development here at Sheffield United?
Thank you. Obviously, happy to sign a new contract to do at Sheffield United, and obviously a big day for me. Happy and grateful for this.
Prior to obviously the injury that you've picked up, it's been a real positive start for you this season, hasn't it? Getting some Premier League experience. Tell us about the season so far.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been great to play the first 3 games. It's been amazing from my experience, and that's a dream to play in the Premier League. So I'm really happy that I've been playing.
Imagine obviously coming up against the best defenders in the world is tough, but a fantastic education for someone of your age.
Yeah, absolutely. Great education, great experience to learn to play against the big teams and big league. So good challenge, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm learning.
And I know you're very ambitious as a footballer, so playing against these type of challenges at the start of this season, does that give you a good indication of where you need to be now?
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen some of the games, the levels that is, and the high level of Premier League, and it's a very good level, and this is obviously where I want to play, and I'm really happy to be here at Sheffield United now playing in Premier League, so I'm grateful, yeah.
And you did really well in the opening rounds. You got a lot of praise, especially from the manager, Paul Heckingbottom. So how much confidence have you gained from that?
Yeah, absolutely. I've gained a lot of confidence. Obviously, the manager gave us support. I appreciate that, and been given the trust to play. So, absolutely, just continue to work hard and get on.
It's been quite a rise, hasn't it, over the last couple of years? You obviously went and had that loan at Derby County. That was a good education for you, and quite quickly now you're a Premier League footballer. So tell us about the last couple of years and how much you've enjoyed being at Sheffield United. Yeah,
last couple of years have been good, ups and downs with different things. I've really been enjoying Sheffield United and all the experience I've learned on and off the pitch. So, it's been a good learning curve, and I have to continue the journey and keep working.
In the academy, you obviously work with Paul Heckingbottom and Jack Lester. They've obviously come onto the first team as well. So I'm guessing those two have been really integral in your development over the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, absolutely. I know Jack Lester and Paul Heckingbottom very well, the gaffer as well. And I've known them for a long time now, so I'm used to them, they're used to me. We know who we are, and it's good to work with them, yeah.
And the plan going forward for you, you've got the short-term and long-term goals, or where you're looking to kind of improve to sort of get back into the side once again there?
Yeah, obviously my goal right now is to come back fit from my injury, and obviously work hard to get back on the pitch. And when I get back on the pitch, keep working hard to improve my game, and that's how it is.
And things coming along nicely now in terms of your recovery?
Yeah, it's going well. Recovery's going good, step by step, and hopefully back on the pitch again soon.
And looking at the overall picture, potentially there's more opportunities this season for you in the Premier League. I mean, how big a boost would that be for you?
Yeah, absolutely. To play in the Premier League, that's amazing for me. I'm thankful. So just keep working, and it'll be great for me to continue to play in the Premier League with Sheffield United and keep learning and keep improving, and achieve some goals.
Great to hear there from Will Osula, new contract for him. Carl, I know you're a big fan of this guy, aren't you?
Yeah, I think he's got all the attributes to be a top level striker. I think every match he's played this season, he's caused the opposition problems and has created or been in a very good scoring chance. And we've all got to be really delighted that he signed an long-term contract.
Because of circumstances, perhaps he's jumped slightly ahead in terms of who was started at Prem this season. But how much do you think long-term that will have a benefit for him?
Yeah, I think we saw Jebbo went on a loan, and so did Will last year, which didn't really benefit them the most. I think playing in this group and integrating and working with the manager will help them. And Will's had a lot of minutes on the pitch with the first team this season, deservedly. And I think there's going to be no looking back for him now. He's going to go from strength to strength. And just another wonderful talent we're bringing through.
And you've seen him in the 21s, you saw him a lot in pre-season as well. Just been speaking to Rhian Brewster there, who said he's got all the raw talents. Do you see the similarities as well?
Yeah, I've spoke for the last 2 years really about, I think he is just one that could go on and do anything, but that's easier said than done. I think he's at the right club with the great development coaches, manager and coaching staff who think the world of him. And he knows that this group of people and these facilities are good enough to improve, and the next couple of years are going to be really exciting. I saw his agent a couple of days ago and said, it might be happening, and I was delighted because long term, Will Osula, brilliant.
And he's getting close to a return, and when he does come back, and we've talked as well about the strength of the Sheffield United strike force, Rhian Brewster coming back. But I'm sure he got a couple of goals for the 21s as well recently. I mean,
a nice tap in, wasn't it? Not an overhead kick.
I mean, that is strength and depth now, isn't it? That Paul Heckingbottom has been looking for really since the start of the season.
Yeah, that was a big part of last season, the competition for places. I think the striking pool we've got is brilliant. Obviously, we're in the top division and all the teams have got good strikers. But I think that the array we have, Paul's got a lot of different situations that he can fill with certain players. And the best thing is you have to be at your best to retain your position. When I played, we had you weren't playing well, 60 minutes Cabs was on. You weren't playing well in another game, Pest was on. Wayne Ellison was. We had lots of different strikers. They've got this now, and Ollie McBurney's doing really well. Cameron Archer's. It's just exciting times.
Yeah, well said. Talking to the right person in terms of competition, because didn't Warlock have about 12 strikers?
There was. You had people coming in on trial on a Monday, on a Tuesday. But you focused. You couldn't ever be complacent. You knew you had to play your best because the manager had other options. But that's a part of football. These boys, I think they've got a good camaraderie. They spur each other on. I'm delighted to see Rhian back. I got a lot of stick for his Swansea goal last year because I got carried away as I do. But he's a wonderful talent. He's such a lovely lad and a very, very, very good footballer. So I just hope he can keep himself, get sharp, get into the team, and we've got a potent strike force.
And moving it on to Fulham, so really we've got a few minutes against West Ham. Paul Heckingbottom talked about bringing him on slowly, so I think the start's probably pushing it a little bit, but getting him some extra minutes, to keep building him up. Is that going to be the case for him?
Yeah, and they'll be working as these boys in this club. That everyone's so, the detail that they go into, as Rhian just told us, they're watching his running style. So no stone's going to be unturned to extract the best potential from Rhian. The manager will use him accordingly. He's not a selfish manager who's going to think, well, I need to, forget Rhian. I know he needs time to heal, but I'm going to play him for 90 minutes because he's not like that. I think there's a great family feel. The boys all trust one another and trust the manager, and Rhian will get his minutes when he deserves them and when the manager sees right.
11 months out, that's got to be tough to take mentally, but like we just spoke to, he just seems to be very happy-go-lucky. He's always got a smile on his face. He's definitely got the right attitude.
He's so mature, and as I said, I was out for a long period of time, and being out, it really is a drain mentally. It's very hard to take, but this boy's, he's sailed through it. Everyone speaks so highly of him, and no one, fans, it's easy to turn on people when they're injured and they just want you. No one's ever turned on Rhian because they've got full belief in him, and he's a great character. And I thought what his gesture going over to the fans after the match with his shirt was really lovely, because when you're in the heat of the battle, you forget these things. But no, it shows that he was thinking about the fans. He respects what the fans have been like to him, and yeah, really nice.
With Fulham in mind, team selection, you spoke about all 5 subs coming on at West Ham and having some form of impact. So will there be a temptation then for Heckingbottom to perhaps tweak his side for the game as well?
I think there's definitely room for some rotation, but we say this on just looking at a Saturday to Saturday. The manager and the coaching staff with the players each day of the week, they know their fitness levels, they know their form, and as what Rhian said also, the manager only wants to win. So if he's not picking me, it means he thinks someone else is better suited to get us a win. So Rhian's right there, and we've all got to understand that the starting 11 the manager puts out on Saturday is a team that he thinks is best suited to bring us some points home. So I think there could be rotation, but the manager, whether he sticks to the same formation, if he tweaks it, if he goes one up top. But the good thing is we've got players to suit different formations and to rotate it, and we know the manager's very clever and knows his onions.
And of course, team selection can be dictated by the opposition, and Fulham, I'm guessing, will be a slightly different prospect to West Ham.
Yeah, they've done incredibly well since they've gone up. They've got some top players. You've got Polina there, who is one of the best midfielders. It's going to be really tough. They had a tricky match the other night against Chelsea, so the manager's going to be looking for a reaction to that. But as always, they're a well-established Premiership team. They're not going to have weak links. It's about us performing well and taking it to them. We've got to respect them. They're going to be a very tough team, especially at home, with very strange atmosphere, with all the waving of the scarves before a match. But when the whistle goes, we know we have to compete, we have to perform, and I'm looking forward to it.
Good memories though for United, recent memories of Craven Cottage. Remember that game, the 1-0 win, the Ilman goal?
Yeah, so I was telling Paul Mortimer before the match, enjoy, another commentator, watch out for enjoy, and then he went off and did the crazy run and goal. But the boys, exactly, they're used to this ground. The last couple of grounds playing away at Tottenham, playing away at the City of London Stadium, West Ham, they're strange atmospheres. There's nothing different about unusual against Craven Cottage. It's close, it's going to be nice atmosphere, not too many fans, but the boys should be able to deal with it and just leave their mark on the game.
Because of the history and the cottage and the listening building, the stand there, it's always a place as a fan, an idyllic setting of course. It's always a place as a fan that you enjoy going to. What's it like as a player? Do you like playing there?
Well, not really, because we came up against Louis Sahar when he was just running through people like a hot knife through butter. So yeah, I've got some sticky memories of playing against Fulham. Beautiful pitch, and they try and play, through the years. The Fulham team try and get the ball down. They play a good football and tempo, and I think that's what we need. We need to know, you're up against a good, honest team that they're gonna ask questions of you. But I thought we acquitted ourselves well against West Ham, and they will have taken some heart from that and know that we need to step it up again and evolve again. And that's what it's about. I think the manager and the team will be fully embracing this and excited.
Thanks very much, Carl. Time now to hear from the manager, Paul Heckingbottom, as he built up to the game against Fulham.
Paul, Fulham on Saturday. How big a deal would it be to sign off before the international break? For all your players disappear with a win. I mean, it's a good game to target, obviously. How's the mood? How's the build-up been?
Yeah, the mood's been... mood's been good. Mood's been fine. yeah, my personal one, I thought it was really clear against West Ham what we did well and what we needed to be better at. So that's been the sole focus this week, you know. Attack as a team, defend as a team, and the moments where we pass the ball really well, but we're loose, you know, we need to tidy that up, of course we do. But the intent was there, but we were too easy to play against in the first half. And second half, everyone will point to the fact, and we've had these discussions here, that we were much more of an attacking threat, more attempts on goal, games played in West Ham's half a lot more, but that's because we defended properly. So yeah, that's been the focus. So it's a big, yeah, it was a good game for us to get a real strong message out of. Yeah, and then the focus, Fulham away, we know it's a tough game, but we want the points.
Carl Asaba, this of course is the final game before the next international break, of course, a big game.
Big, well, cup final. It needs to be played as a cup final, as they all do as far as I'm concerned. The boys know there's an international break, they know they have a rest after this, and I'm fully expecting them to go out and give a great account of themselves and try and come back with some points.
Good to see you again, Carl. We'll be back in a couple of weeks' time as we build up to the game against Manchester United here on SUTV.